Los Angeles, California, Friday, July 21st, 1978. I remember how it all started. I had a date with Walter Heber, one of the architects at Lynch and Associates, where I worked as a secretary. Maybe I'm crazy, but Walter wasn't really a turn-on for me. Sure, he had a lot going for him, a nice house, a new car, and a good job, but he was still earthbound. He just wasn't Superman. See, I said I was crazy. Normally, I would not have gone out with Walter. However, he mentioned that he had a membership to the Magic Castle and that there was going to be a rare performance given by an illusionist named Talawanda. Don't ask me how I knew, but something told me that I had to see that performance. I was just putting the finishing touches on my makeup when Walter arrived promptly at 7 o'clock to pick me up at my apartment. We drove to a nearby restaurant where we enjoyed a leisurely meal until it was time to leave for the Magic Castle. Upon our arrival at the castle, we were cheerfully assisted from the car by the valet attendants. Proceeding into the lobby, we were greeted by the castle hostess, who politely inquired, "Good evening, are you members?" "Going on 4 years," Walter responded enthusiastically as he produced the membership card from his vest. The hostess smiled as she pressed a nearby button. Suddenly, the wall behind her slid open like a secret panel, permitting us to pass into the main ballroom. Our timing couldn't have been better. It was just a few minutes before showtime. Then came the first miracle. Despite the near-capacity crowd, we ended up in the center of the first row, directly in front of the stage. Walter immediately observed, "This Talawanda must really be something special. I've been a member here for over 4 years, and I've never felt this much excitement from an audience and anticipation of any performer." An old man in the row behind us leaned forward in response to Walter's remark and commented, "That's because Talawanda has never performed for the public until tonight. He is considered a master magician and performs only for professional magicians. No one even knows where he comes from. They only know that he is the best. All of his tricks defy explanation. Why, I remember one time he..." Suddenly, his words were interrupted as the ballroom lights rapidly dimmed, and the old man leaned back in his seat without finishing his statement. I could feel suspense in the air. It was like static electricity before a storm. The anticipation was torturing the crowd, and then, as if everyone had just received a radio signal from God to shut up, the audience became deathly silent. Then, to everyone's amazement, and especially mine, he appeared, but he didn't appear from behind the curtains. He rose from the seat right next to mine. No one had even noticed him sitting and waiting there. It was almost as though he had been invisible. As Talawanda walked confidently up the stairs and onto the stage, the audience exploded into thunderous applause. I'll never forget his godly presence. He stood there tall and confident, like a 5-star general inspecting his troops. He had bright blue eyes and black hair, which was neatly slicked back like some high-fashioned European model. Majestically, he raised his left hand to silence the crowd. It was then that he uttered the most startling challenge that I had ever heard. "Those of you who are actually convinced that this world you live in is not an illusion, just stick around." He paused dramatically and then said, "Most of you have never seen me before. I am pleased that you are here. Thank you for coming. It is my hope that you may learn something this evening, not only about this world you live in, but about yourselves as well. For this world would not exist if it were not for you and your fellow beings. If I fail to teach you something tonight, then I hope that I may at least entertain you. You've been promised a show, and a show you shall receive." Many of you are skilled magicians. I invite you to challenge me." With this, the crowd stirred with intense eagerness. One middle-aged professional magician stood up and admired Talawanda's unique approach. "Can you materialize a dollar bill from thin air?" the man inquired. Talawanda grinned. "Why not a $2 bill, my friend?" "Why not a $2 bill for all my friends?" Talawanda smiled and paused. "You are all a little richer and wiser now." "Don't be timid," Talawanda commanded. "Inspect your new wealth." And as he said that, the crowd began to search their purses and pockets, only to discover a nice, crisp $2 bill for everyone. The crowd rose to its feet and roared with applause. "How does he do it? He's absolutely amazing," voices from the crowd exclaimed. Talawanda quieted the audience and requested the next challenge. "I shall grant you 2 more illusions," Talawanda informed his audience. "Can you escape from these handcuffs of mine?" an eager man inquired as he held up a pair of police regulation handcuffs. Talawanda responded as the audience grew silent once more. "My friends, I am afraid you are all really much more powerful than you ever imagined. You are truly magicians, because you have succeeded in convincing even yourselves that this world is not an illusion. Today, you believe that an illusion, such as those handcuffs, is capable of restricting you. You see, for me, this world is like a dream. That is the difference between you and me. I never took this illusion you call reality as seriously as you apparently have. While you were busy facing reality, I preferred to fabricate my own. While you were busy inventing interesting new handicaps to inflict upon yourselves, I was watching from another universe. This is why I am able to have things come and go as I please." As Talawanda finished his speech, the pair of handcuffs that the man was holding floated out of his hands and up towards the stage. The handcuffs stopped about 10 feet from the stage and hovered 4 feet off the floor. There they began to glow like burning coal and grew brighter and brighter until they shone like the noontime sun. Then suddenly, they were gone, totally vanished, and the audience went wild with applause. They stood and clapped for better than a minute and then grew silent, eagerly awaiting for the next trick. Talawanda laughed. "I hope you see the problem now. You have become so lazy about creating your own illusions that now you depend upon excitement from a source other than yourselves. No wonder you've lost your touch. No wonder you keep hanging on to this universe. You've got nowhere else to go. In any event, I owe you one last illusion for this evening. What shall it be?" Walter embarrassed me a little when he raised his hand and asked, "Can you prove that your illusions are real?" Talawanda sighed. "My son, come forth. Come up on stage." Walter rose from his seat and proceeded up the stairs and onto the stage as Talawanda directed. "My son, you ask for proof. That means you want to be convinced. I'm afraid you have been convinced of enough already. You're convinced that you are immortal with no past lives. That's the biggest joke of all. You are convinced that you are your body. You're convinced of that because you're stuck inside. You're convinced of all sorts of silly things, like the floor is solid, or that you need gasoline to run your car, or that the world is dangerous. Remember, as a man thinketh, so be it unto him. Do you know what that means? It means that if you believe strongly enough about something, it will happen for you, and possibly for others also, if your belief is strong enough.